Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here with another episode, Block 6 of Happy Scrappy Overflow. You're going to find this PDF in our show notes below or the description box, along with a bunch of other fun information. Now, just a quick story. I went back and forth doing these blocks. Once I hit this point going, I'm going to run out of strings, I'll have enough strings. I'll run out of strings, I'll have enough strings. So we had to take a deep breath and make it work. So I'll get more into it when we get into the actual sewing of this, what happened. But yeah, we didn't cut up any scraps to make more strings. We decided, okay, we're going to work with the strings we have and that'll be fine. But first, let's do our shout out. Christy Lee from Quiet Play. And the other one is Beginners Quilting Hub. Both those YouTube channels are having fun, artistic and creative, and just having a blast. So when you go check them out and you hit their subscribe button, please tell them that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. It's a nice surprise for them. They don't know that it's coming. We also have our Zoom sew dates the first Saturday of every month, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I'm in Alberta, Canada, and we just have a blast on those sew dates. And if you don't have anything to sew that day, or you're just not feeling sewing that day is a good thing, bring your crochet, your knitting, whatever. It's all good. Also, help us out by making comments, thumbs up, share, like, subscribe, hype on your cell phones, and hit the bell so you don't miss content. All these things help drive our analytics for our video and push our video forward so we can continue giving quilters fun free patterns 3 times a week. We also have a Facebook group and a virtual sewing room at present hosted by Discord. We have just a blast in there every day, and it's open to everyone that's part of the Facebook group. Now we have fun chats and community chats, and also community chats set up for Happy Scrappy Overflow in case you have questions, you know, like if you're having some concerns or whatever. We also do fabric exchanges by country to keep postal costs down. The admins say, please answer the questions and agree to the rules. Otherwise, I can't let you in. And we're trying to keep that room, that Facebook group, very safe for quilters, right? So, I mean, you can understand what they're going through. Also, I speak for free to quilting guilds and quilting groups. And if you're looking for a free speaker, my email address is under the About tab, and or you can message me through Facebook. That would be fun too. I'm faster at Facebook than I am at email. And another thing, if you guys see a YouTube channel out there that's quilting related and they're having fun, they're artistic, they're creative, and you know, it's just something interesting, or they have an interesting voice or an interesting opinion, please send them the link and the name, and I'd be happy to add them on to my shout out list, right? Because I mean, you guys see more stuff now on YouTube than I do, because I don't have time. I'm too busy sewing. So, but if you could do that for me, that would be great. And don't tell them, because we can sneak around now and do something nice for them. So that'll be good. I'm also involved in 2 collaborations, spring, summer, and fall. The first one is the Quilters Challenge Circle, and that's Kelly from Kelly's Quilts Plus, Sam Alberts, Deb with Sewing with Debbie, Michelle from Bits and Pieces, Future Cat from New Zealand, and Kelly from Silly Moon Quilting. And we've all gotten together to challenge each other and our viewers to a theme. So our themes, some of them are very wide open, and some of them are, you know, not quite so wide open. We're having a fun time, and we've seen some gorgeous stuff, just absolutely gorgeous stuff in some of the you know, in the comments and in the pictures in our groups, and it's like, yeah, wow, that theme was really a good one. So it's all fun, it's all good. The other challenge or collaboration I'm involved with is Handmade by Ying with Donna, and she's assembled a bunch of people to do back to basics. Now her back to basics are, you know, they're geared for beginners, but it's good for people who have picked up some bad habits perhaps along the way. Like I've picked up a few bad habits, to watch and make sure that we're, you know, getting back on track as to what we should be doing. So those things are really quite important, right, as quilters. And yeah, I think So Yeah is having their Alaska charity drive, and it ends August 15th. Now you're going to find their .com link and their YouTube channel link in our show notes as well, so that you can, if you want to participate, you can get more information from them, right? But that charity drive ends August 15th. So hopefully if you guys want to participate in that, people have been saying they've just had a hoot doing that. So, you know, make sure you get on board that charity drive. That one's, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to make something and then send it off and have, you know, have it loved by somebody else. So I think that's it. Yes. Come on in. Let's get to the sewing of step 6. Okay, we're at the sewing machine. This must measure 18.5 inches from outer line to outer line and 4.5 inches up and down across, right? So it comes in 3 papers, so you have to take your time and tape them, but make sure it's 18.5, right? Paper scissors to cut them out, and of course the tracing wheel to mark on the back so you can see where your pyramid triangle shapes are. Now, this is like, I don't have enough strings to finish. Oh my goodness. Now what do I do? So this is what we decided we would do. We would add reds, bright, crazy, busy reds to the border. For the border, like this is the outer border, right? So this is not sashing or anything. So what we want is something like really wild and crazy. And try as I might, I could not get A1 here in the middle. So this is A1, A2 and A3, A4 and A5, A6 and A7, right? That's, I don't know why, but we start in the middle. I'll show you why in a second here. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to start on one side, and I'm just going to make it fit. Just basically make this thing fit, and we're going to trim off just a bit, just a hair, to get this to work. And we're just going to line it up just like so. And then we're going to flip it back and pin it. Yeah, I know, I could use glue, I could use all sorts of things. I have a pin handy, and that's what I will use. So now this line here is where we can line up. Now we just take a longer strip, and I only want one of these, not 2. Now I should probably get this off. Ugh. Okay, here we go. So we only want one piece at a time that we're going to be working with. So this is the strip that we're looking at, and we want it to go all the way down and a bit above. So we're just going to trim this, and we're going to save this because at some point we're going to need these little pieces. We're going to need them. And when we're doing a whole bunch of them, just a sec here, I'll get this out of the way. When we're doing a whole bunch of them, we tend to, you know, use up a bunch of this stuff all at once. So the first string, you're going to sew this way, right? Because you got to follow this line to make the block happen. Okay? You with me so far? You're right off the edge. Right now, the second string you put on the other side after you've trimmed the block. And this is where you end up with a really weird little funky trim. There we go. Oh, and I found my add a quarter ruler. Yay! We'll see how long it stays up here today. Before it goes flying across the room, I'm done. I don't want to be used anymore. So now we trim off all of this, and this becomes, why did that not trim? Oh, okay, I see. I see. There. So now this becomes pet bed because it's a little small. I mean, I could use it, but it's a little on the thin side, but there's not much of it that I would need. I have lots of red, by the way. I could use it as a string for something later on. That works too. So now we're going to put this guy away. We're going to grab another fun string. This might be a little too crazy, but it works. It's a low volume. It is truly a low volume. So what we want to do is we want to cut this off just here. Okay. And of course save this string. And there we go. Just put it the other way. We'll put it the other way. There's less stringy bits on that side. And we'll just move it down. There we go. And now these ones, you have to use the lines on the front. So this is the hardest part of your block, is sewing the hard stuff here. Okay, and you're like, well, that's not really all that hard. Yeah, it's not a hard block, guys. Not a hard block. But you do end up using your low volumes finally. So now, okay. So I was going like this from one side. Now you see here you're a lot shorter because your line is here. Now you don't want to go all the way down, but you do want to be a good healthy, you know, 1/4 inch over. And again, you save that piece. And now you can sew from this side. And you get that there. Remember, sharp needle, closer stitches. I set mine, my sewing machine up for between 25 and 30 stitches an inch, because I can do that with my machine. I have no idea what that is in the modern machine. And somebody told me once it was set at 1 or 1.5 or something like that, but I could be wrong. So look in your manual for the instructions. The right way to do it. Now I have some pretty wild low volumes here, and I'm just going to start using them because I can. So for these, once you get that first string on, then anything else after that you can just sew regularly that you would like a string block. And you have this imaginary dotted line from your tracing wheel. So clever, so easy. There we go. And there we go. And the random string X comes off the pile. And that's pretty. Let's go this way with that string. Some of these strings have been in my stash for a while, so I'm kind of glad to see them going. But you know, this was such a pretty print, this low volume here that I'm working with, but I had so much of it, and I think it was a donation because I didn't buy it, and I thought, well, it's gone into several charity quilts, and hopefully people will love it as much as I did when I got it. Yeah, so now you can just keep moving through. Now when you're doing these strings, change up the size, right? The size of them. You know, go bigger, go smaller, go, you know, like that kind of thing. Don't keep putting the same size down, because what will happen is the work will start to look not as interesting. If you have string blocks, you have some fat pieces, you have some skinny pieces, you have some, you know, like this one here I purposely put up a little higher because the purple is right at the end, you know, and now it's not going to read so purple. It's going to read more low volume than purple in the string, right? So it's adds some variety, right? So you've got that, you know, interesting little play. I know you can't even see it. This might be too thin. Yeah, too thin. Okay, this might be perfect to get rid of. Oh, it fits. It's going. No, he's sitting there. Wait a minute, you said that about the last piece. This piece I'm throwing out, or not throwing out, putting it into the pet bed. Yeah, it's going to read more buttery and greens and whatnot, but that's fine. It's still a low volume compared to the red. Now what I should be using is I sorted my strings because I did like 16 of these blocks because I'm making us queen size, right? I'm just going to get the tape out of the way. So once you're past the first couple of strings, I sorted my strings so my short stuff was all together, and that way I, you know, can use smaller you know, pieces like this or whatever, right? And, you know, still get coverage, you know, instead of throwing them out or whatever, you know, you keep moving through your strings and you get to use everything then, and then you have a very interesting string block. And you don't get too worried about anything. Now, the other thing, if you find your string is not light enough, or you feel that, gee, you know, I wish it was a little bit lighter to work better. You know, it doesn't look right in there, or, you know, this or that has happened, and you're just not fond of the idea, because that has happened too. Oh, look, I have this piece, and it's probably the right size. Yeah, it's probably big enough too. Let's put that in. Let's put that piece in, and then we don't have to worry about too much about the corner. So what I did is I worked one corner and then I worked the other corner, the other side. But yeah, if it's too dark for you, right, then you can just turn around and say, look, I can use the other side of this, and just flip it over. That's perfectly acceptable. Now this does go a 1/4 inch more past, so we're good. Now I'm just going to start on the other side. This side piece I used. See, this side is really nice, lighter tone, but you could have used that instead, right? So, and, oh, I could have used that. Ooh, that's pretty. I'll save that one for the next round. The next round will be here. Okay, there we go. That's too short. Oh, that was sad. Okay. Another one that's too short. Okay, let's get the longer bundle. Here, this one's perfect. This is a perfect example. This is a low volume. It's a little dark, but if you flip it over, you know, it's the right color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew it on upside down so it looks right. Okay. Because you buy both sides of the fabric, you should be able to use both sides. And there's nothing wrong with a lighter low volume. And this, you know, that's something that people, oh, I have to use the right side. No, you can use the other side too. It's okay, it's allowed. So, you know, all of a sudden it's very, very light. You've got a paler look to it. In a quilt, you'll never see it. Okay, and this one is a little crazy and bright, and we're going to use it all. There we go. And see, that one's got lots of low volume. I'm going to, I'm going to use this. This one's probably the right length. Yes, it is. It's a little crazy, but it works. It works. There we go. And now, it's not going to quite reach, so we're going to put on this piece of fabric, and that will reach. That will reach. And you can just test this if it'll reach. You go 1/4 inch past, and you've got a good 1/2 inch here, it'll reach. It'll reach across. So that's all you have to do with that. Then you put that to the side. There. And slip it under the needle. Yes, it is. There we go. What you do is you play. We forget as adults how to play. We should never forget how to play, but we do, and it happens. You know, life gets busy. We end up being responsible. We end up car payments and all the rest of the stuff. Well, you know, meanwhile, we've forgotten how to play. Or if we even forgot in some cases what we like to do. You know, because we're so busy being responsible. Anyways, okay. So now we finished, you know, 1. If you relabel this as 1, 2, 3, right? Now we're going to make sure we get coverage. Yes, we do. Ample coverage. We're going to press this just out of the way like so. Let me get that all out of the way. Let me get that out of the way right now. And we're just going to peel this all back out of the way. And there we go. We get our add a quarter ruler. And we're going to trim this so we can put the next piece of red on. There. Nice. See how easy that one was to do? And we'll get the other side as we can. And that tracing wheel makes everything, the paper, so much easier to fold over. There we go. And get in there, lock it in place. There. I keep hitting that hole. Okay, all right. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to put this red in. Okay, so this red is, let's see, this red is going to go in just like so. Just like so. Right. That red. And you're going to flip this over and put this in. This is just a red scrap. A really huge red scrap, but it works. Now you want to start past the seam and then straight down. Okay. Just like that. Now, trim this up on both sides. Okay. And you want to get the other side on there. And this goes like this. So you want to put this just like so. And get this under the sewing machine. Down. Gee, I hope I laid these out right. I didn't have many troubles when I was doing the blocks, but I was like, oh, I didn't lay it out right. That's okay. I can show you what to do. That's okay. Poverty piecing is a real talent. But when you're dealing with something really wild and crazy, now this side went in perfect. Went perfectly in. And that's, you know, that's our blessing for today. We'll take it. We'll take the win. One side went in okay, the other side did not. That's all right. We can correct it. And I can show you how to do that. Just where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So now, there. That piece is bigger. I'm going to save that one for my scraps, my scrap bin. And it's kind of got some interesting colors and everything in there, so it'll be a nice piece for something. This one went in incorrectly because it doesn't go all the way to the corner, right? So we're going to flip this over. We're going to take out the big square rectangle at the bottom, put that one back into the red bin. We're going to take this and we're going to flip it over and see where we're short. We are short just right here, right at the end. So what we're going to do is we are going to poverty piece. That's right, you can poverty piece in foundation paper piecing. You can poverty piece a piece. Just a sec. Let me get this up here. And you're going to poverty piece a piece about that big in. Now this goes back into the red because it's huge. Now we want this to go like that. So we are going to put this in just like so. Okay. And you're going to run this under. There. Okay. There we go. You're just gonna run it under. Poverty piecing is the way to do things sometimes, you know. It's not the best way of doing it, but if you have to do it, you have to do it, right? Some people just don't have enough. They want a certain color in a certain spot, and they don't have enough of one piece. Well, you poverty piece, you know, you put the two pieces, you sew a couple of pieces together, and, you know, you make it work. Now, when I turn this over and pull out the extra string, of course, now it matches perfectly. It covers. I have coverage all the way to the corner. I just have a little bit extra hanging over, so that's fine. I'll get my handy dandy add a quarter ruler out, and I'll trim that away. And because, you know, because of how I've poverty pieced it, you're not going to see that, right? Like, it's mostly red right at that corner, and I've just got a little bit of, I put mostly red up against that corner, right? So that's how we do that, poverty piecing, when you're doing foundation paper piecing. You just sew it on. Okay, let's get some more strips on here. Now, I don't want to repeat my strips, so I'm going to put this here on this side, because I think it's a nice bright, oh, and I might as well get rid of that. Okay. That's going in the garbage, or that pet bed, because I'll salvage. So I'm just going to move this up just a hair, just like so. Get this all behind, and flip this over so I follow the line. Right? There we go. There. So that's a beautiful piece of fabric. And let's see, what have I got here for the other side? For the other side, ooh, oh, look at this. Oh, this is cute. This, isn't that pretty? I'm going to put that down. I'm just going to put a wide piece down, and I'm going to save the end because we can. Because we can. Sometimes you want to save your wider pieces for the corners, but I think you're okay to go on the first block. It gives you a little bit more, fewer strings to sew on that outer edge. But it's up to you. I don't know what size strings you've got. I don't know how big your stuff is. And no, I don't want you sending me any. Because that's been offered too. And I'm like, oh, please don't. I actually, like I say, this was one of the blocks I actually hemmed and hawed over. I don't have enough. I really, truly, honest to God, do not have enough strings to complete the block. And I'm like, oh dear, now what? So anyways, we're putting a cat in. And we're just going to take it from our shorter stuff. Just like so. Put our cat in. There, I'm just going to line that up. It's a little long, but it's fine. There. And I'm going to put this in the corner, but I want it to come down a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it. Well, it's not going to gain a lot, am I? I'm not going to gain enough if I have it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave that and put that one back. Let's see. I've got an interesting, have I got anything really interesting that would just, yes, this is cute. Right here. Right here. I'm going to create a really loud polka dot. There. And what I'm going to do with this loud polka dot is I'm going to pull it back. So I short the cat. So the cat, basically I'm leaving a good 1/4 inch over. And now I can just trim that off with my scissors down to the seam that I just made. And I don't have too much bulk now going into that corner, but I have a really cute blue and white polka dot there. Now, when we work on the other side, I can take this piece, which is just big enough. Oh my goodness, just big enough. Let's put that under. Oops, let's go this way. Just big enough. There we go. There. Get that. There we go. And I'm just going to put that up just like so. Now I'm going to check the back. The back shows that I have coverage all the way to the corner. Right? So when I hold this up like this, I'm going to have a full coverage. There's only 2 strings. So I'm going to leave that alone now. I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm going to do it that way. Now what I do is I put my longer strings back into the pile. And these are all shorter, so I'm just going to take them all out. Yeah, they're all shorter. So I'm just going to put them into my short, low volumes. And now it comes to let's get the stay stitching on first. Let's do stay stitching first. And you do your stay stitching. Sharp needle, shorten your stitch length, right? And you want right in the middle of that seam allowance. You know, that's where you're going to have this stretch is right at the seam allowance, and because it's all on bias, all the strings are on bias. Not so much the red pieces, but yeah, you should do there as well. And I think the red adds a final pop of color. It's a little bit more chaos in with the reds. I picked more chaotic reds. So I just like that. We've got so much going on the strings. It's a nice way to complement the strings. Okay, so there we go. Now, let me get this. I'm going to clean this up real quick like. Just putting an elastic around my work just to keep it all, you know, more manageable. Come on, there we go. Flip it over, there we go. So now, so that's this is all I have left for low volumes too, after, well, 3 string quilts, right? Spring Fling and, you know, Twinkle Twinkle, and then this one, it's like, oh, good grief. But anyway, so we put our quarter line on the inner line, give it a cut, give the other side a cut. Okay, there we go. And you've made sure you've got 18 inches, 18.5 inches. So let's put our lines on the 1/4 inch. Here we go. And now we pull this forward, or pull it towards ourselves, right? And okay, so this is the one we've sewn. Yes, it's crazy wild reds. They're busy and they got lots going on. And here's a few of the other ones that we did. You know, the K Facet came out, the paw prints and bones, like all of this fun, all of the fun reds came out because it was kind of nice to have that ability to do that. And this way I was able to have enough strings to finish sewing Happy Scrappy Overflow. Yes, I don't have a lot of strings left. Any of you that are coming, this is being filmed May 4th. Any of you that came to the May Zoom sew date, they've seen I have just a little handful of colored strings left. And I'm like, yeah, we're right down to the wire on this stuff. So, but it was fun to do. Now, remember, A1 is in the middle and it's labeled A4. And then you go to these outer low volumes and then you go out again and this way. This is how you assemble this block away. It's numbered, so you start from here and down, and you're not gonna, it's easier to do it this way, where A1 is here, so remember to mark them differently. And yes, we had to do a little poverty piecing. Now when you're putting this up, you can't see where I poverty pieced, right? I mean, when in a large quilt, you will never see it, right? Remember that, you will never see this. And with so much going on these string blocks, you're never gonna see it. You might not find it again either. So it is possible to do that. Now I'm gonna peel this one off camera, but this one comes together pretty quick and fast. I'm sorry we lost footage, and I'm thinking you guys were seeing the cutting, the trimming up of this block. I'm hoping you at least saw that. The stay stitching, once your stay stitching is on, you can now take the paper off, but trimming the block, you just, you trim as far as your ruler can reach. I didn't have a big 24-inch ruler, so I could have trimmed this easy. Make sure this is measuring 18 and a half, 1/2, 18.5 by 4.5, 4.5, right? So, and that way you've got the right border size. Now this is the outer border. Okay, remember that. So, anyways, I hope you guys stay well and take care and just have fun in your sewing room. This is all about playing and playing with color and just about enjoying something too, right? So, anyways, stay well, and I hope you have a peaceful and blissful week ahead. Okay, until we see each other again. Okay, bye! My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey, and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life, and your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your life, and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye, and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.